Welcome to the Now, I'm Jenkins, and breaking news, everyone! Kojima's next game is still confusing as hell, which should surprise just about nobody. That news comes from a comment made by Kojima's main squeeze, Mads Mikkelsen, who's speaking at a Q&A during Saudi Comic-Con. In addition to talking about how great his visit was to Kojima Productions, Mikkelsen reported to fans that the game's plot was just a bit hard to follow, saying, "He was trying to tell me the whole plot of the game, and it's so elaborate that, I got lost, but I really wanted to learn more." This is not the first time Mads has made statements like this. Back when he was doing a press tour for Rogue One, he said he only understood some of the game's story. So we'll probably all be in that exact same boat whenever the game finally comes out. Don't worry, Mads. We gotcha. We're all in this together. Yesterday, Mass Effect Andromeda made headlines because one of its producers called it softcore space porn and sold a ton more copies thanks to the game's ESRB rating featuring mention of full nudity. But now, BioWare is walking those comments back just a little bit. General Manager Aaron Flynn has now said that his initial quote calling the game space porn was actually sarcastic. Damn it! And not meant to be taken seriously. Flynn wrote on Twitter, "Sorry I gave the wrong impression. We have strong characters, great gameplay, romances, and more, all dealing with mature themes." Oh, come on, so does porn. Your first quote was way better, so maybe the game isn't quite as steamy as we first thought. We may not be seeing alien dongs flying all over the place, but hey, it still sounds like we maybe get to see a little bit of them, hopefully, please. Nintendo held their Nindy stream today, a showcase of indie games coming to the Switch, and what a showcase it was, because Nintendo showed off a lot of titles, including Yooka-Laylee, Overcooked, Rhyme, a new Blaster Master titled Blaster Master Zero, Goner, Enter the Gungeon, Thumper, ToeJam and Earl, Escapists 2, Towerfall Ascension, Jackbox, Kingdom 2 Crowns, and Stardew Valley. Interestingly enough, Switch will be the first console to get Stardew Valley's multiplayer and the co-op and stuff. The company also emphasized that any of these indie games with multiplayer will also be playable locally with other Switch consoles as well as online. In all, Nintendo claims more than 60 indie games are coming out for the system by the end of 2017, and yes, a lot of them are already out on other platforms, but think how convenient they'll be on the go. Fans of Planescape Torment can rejoice today. The spiritual successor, Torment Tides of Numenera, is now finally out. Torment was kickstarted back in 2013 with over $4 million in funding. At the time, it was the most successful Kickstarter game ever and features RPG gameplay similar to dungeon crawlers like Diablo or, Planescape Torment. Along with the launch of the game are a number of reviews which are so far very positive. Tide of Numenera is sporting an 84 on Metacritic at the time of writing, with high scores from outlets like PC Jenzen, Twinfinite, PC Gamer, IGN, Game Informer, US Gamer, and The Guardian. The general consensus is that the game's combat is a little hit or miss, but it's got a great story, creative quests, and excellent dialogue. PC Jenzen wrote, "The 90s have nothing on this. Torment Tides of Numenera might have been fueled by nostalgia, but outstrips its contemporary peers in reactivity, writing, and invention." Now, we've heard a fuss about paid mods in the past, but what about just paying modders? Studio Wildcard, the creators of Ark Survival Evolved, have announced the launch of a brand new program which will see the game's top modders getting paid $4,000 per month each. According to Jeremy Stiglitz, the company's co-founder, Studio Wildcard will select 15 modders per month for the program, evaluating their work each month to see if they'll continue to fund the mods. The hope is that this will give modders a reason to finish development on their mods, since for so many it's just a hobby. Certain mods will even go on to be released as full-on official DLC. They've already announced the first 15 mods in the program, including NPC Bush People, a steampunk mod, castles, keeps, and forts, and a total conversion mod that puts the game on the moon. It'll be interesting to watch how this program unfolds and if more developers follow suit with their modders. Honestly, it'll be interesting to see now that more companies are looking at more ways to explore funding for mods and modders what ends up being the best model. But this is definitely a new approach. Now, it looks like Epic Games has been busy. The developer has at least 6 games in the works, according to an interview with VentureBeat, and it might start publishing its own stuff. Those in-development games include Fortnite for PC and PS4, along with the free-to-play game Paragon and a new version of Unreal Tournament, which is also free on PC. They're also working on a mobile and PC game called Spyjinx, as well as a VR game funded by Oculus called Robo Recall. And finally, Epic just announced a tactical RPG called Battlebreaker quicker for mobile and PC. Epic CEO Tim Sweeney also said the studio wants to get back into the publishing business. He said, "We are determined to go back to our roots and go directly to users without publisher relationships. It's so much better to operate a game live and change it in response to consumer feedback." Everyone knows the iconic Mario Brothers theme music. It's a legendary piece of game history, but did you know that the game has actual lyrics? Yes, they actually date back to 1985 when fans submitted potential lyrics to a Japanese radio station. They were later given the seal of approval by Nintendo, and everyone knows how important the seal of approval was. And a recorded version of the song was released on vinyl. There's a recording of the Japanese version from a 2003 concert in Tokyo that's on YouTube, and thanks to Destructoid, there's a sample of some of the English lyrics. "Today, full of energy, Mario is still running. Go save Princess Peach, go." Wait, what does this sound like when you sing it? "Today, full of energy, Mario is still running. Go save you know what, I'm losing the tune now, but like, that's ridiculous. Anyway, keep going, Mario. The lyrics basically follow the melody of the music, and the song is called Go Go Mario. Looks like some space tourists will be headed to the moon next year. Yeah, actually moon tourists. This is happening. SpaceX, the rocket company that's led by Elon Musk, said it's going to send a couple of people on a trip around the moon before the end of 2018. Musk said 2 private individuals approached the company to see if SpaceX would take them on the flight, which would fly past the surface of the moon and continue until gravity turned the spacecraft around and brought it back to Earth. Musk said the trip would basically do a long loop around the moon. In all, the trip would take about a week, and if it happens, the passengers will be the first people to go that far into space in more than 4 decades. Musk didn't say how much the travelers, who he didn't identify, will be paying for the ride. They wouldn't be the first space tourists, though. 7 people have paid tens of millions of dollars to fly on Russian rockets to visit the International Space Station, which is about 200 miles above the Earth's surface. But this would be a lot longer of a trip, considering the moon is about 250,000 miles away. So if just going to the ISS was costing tens of millions, we'll just leave it to your imagination. Now, it turns out people watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I know, who would have guessed, right? We depend on you doing that. The video platform said recently that people worldwide are watching 1 billion hours of content every day. That's 10 times more than people were watching in 2012. That's a huge amount of growth over the last few years. Christos Goodrow, Vice President of Engineering at YouTube, said the milestone represents the enjoyment of the fantastically diverse videos that creative people make every single day. So, how much is a billion hours? I mean, that's a big number, but how much is it in context? Well, Goodrow said if you were to sit and watch 1 billion hours of YouTube, it would take you over 100,000 years. So, yeah, kind of a long time. And people are uploading a ton of content to YouTube as well. 400 hours of video every single minute, or 65 years of video a day. Wow, billion hours of content. That's like almost as many episodes as Doctor Who. Speaking of videos, CNET is pretty well known for posting good ones, but a recent video kind of backfired on them. The electronics site posted a video recently about Nintendo Switch's kickstand, allegedly showing how bad it was, but the video seemed to go out of its way to criticize the kickstand, with CNET's Sean Hollister trying to knock his Switch over and sometimes failing, and at other times using enough force to knock anything over, whether or not it had a kickstand. At any rate, people hated it, with the YouTube video getting a 98% dislike ratio on YouTube. That's a lot of dislike ratio. Hollister even posted an apology saying, "My intention was to try to reenact real problems I had, but I see now that the video comes across as forced or cheeky, like a bad 90s infomercial." Well, don't feel too bad, CNET, we all make mistakes sometimes, but maybe leave the Switch kickstand alone. It's fragile enough as is, it's designed to snap off, and also, like, if you can kick a bike over if it's got a kickstand. Kickstands don't stop things falling, they just hold them up if you leave them alone. That's like a thing. Anyway, that's all the news we have for you guys today. What do you think of all the stories? Let us know in the comments down below. To make sure you get news from every corner of the internet every day, make sure you like this video, and if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to the know. We're here like all day, every day. We're part of that YouTube billions of hours thing. Please help us. Help, watch, love. Welcome to the Know. I'm Master Jenkins, and I'm Master Jenkins.
Good point, Self. I agree.
It's like, what do you think, Ashley? Well, Ashley, I have to tell you, this is outrageous.